Hey, this is Dani, and the channel is You and Me Living Free. I'm so glad that you are here, and I want to talk about hiking today. In particular, hiking as a complete beginner, hiking as someone who is very inexperienced. I do not have much experience out in nature at all, actually, which is kind of funny that I'm camping in my minivan, took on this grand adventure, but you know, luckily I like it and it's going well. But I've had kind of a journey already with hiking, and I think that it's valuable to talk about my experience as it may be shared with a lot of other people who aren't exactly what we would typically think of as hikers. When I go to a national park and there's a big trailhead with many people and they have the backpacks and they're in shape, and you can just tell, you know, you can really just tell who really does this a lot and who doesn't. And even the hiking apps and things like that are really just geared toward, you know, toward those people who are in awesome shape, people who not only hike regular trails, but even climb, maybe, things like that. So this is from a very real perspective of where I am. And not only am I beginner, not only am I completely inexperienced and not that familiar with nature, I'm also very overweight. So I don't really believe in like weight and all those numbers and everything. I'm on a different path now, but I do, like if you took a regular BMI chart, they would want me to be at least maybe 100 pounds lighter than I am, and that's just to give you some idea of the scale. Like I'm quite overweight. I am out of shape. I've been out of shape, but I've been this heavy and been in better shape. I was doing for a while I was doing regular walks, and I would walk at least 30 minutes a day, sometimes 45 minutes or an hour a day, just on flat land. But I got out of that habit when COVID hit, and through some depression and some other things, I just got out of the habit. So I got in literally kind of the worst shape of my life before I started this whole van life thing. And then I was noticing on the van life that right now it is the beginning of August. When I started back in April, I started with Utah and those national parks. And when I was there, I would be able to just get out of the car, walk up to an overlook and look out. I might be able to there were a couple of trails there that were literally almost flat. Like one where you're actually walking through a riverbed. The name is right on the tip of my tongue, but it doesn't matter. You're walking actually along a riverbed, something gorge. But anyway, those were the only trails I was able to do. If it was 1/10 of a mile to an overlook, or maybe 1 mile to an overlook, and even that was taxing if it was uphill at all. Uphill is still a big challenge for me. I was at Rocky Mountain National Park the other day, well, last week, and I did a whole video on just the saga of doing literally a 2-mile hike, but the way there was kind of downhill, and I was all worried about coming back up, and then when I was coming back up, it was very hard. So I kind of went through that hike and talked myself through and kind of shared on camera what I was going through, and I'll put a card up at the end if I can to link that video. Otherwise, I'll just link it in the description if you're interested in watching it. But as someone in my position who really wants to hike, who really wants to take that next step into nature and into being not just at the overlook looking down, which overlooks are awesome. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to do them every park I go to. And of course, they're wonderful. But this is like just the next level of really kind of getting into it and being there. And also because I am on a journey for health. I have all these dreams and aspirations of travel and of adventure and of seeing things. And I want vitality. I want a strong, healthy, flexible body with tons of vitality and energy. And because my personality is very enthusiastic anyway, if you watch my videos, you can kind of tell that. I'm very enthusiastic about many things. But I want that same ability with my body to be able to keep up with the things I want to do. I want to hike, I want to kayak, I want to travel, I want to do all kinds of things. So it's very hard for me to, and I think I'm almost past the days where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna walk 30 minutes every day, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go around in circles. I'm not into that at all, but it has inspired me so much, this hiking thing, that every step of the way that I'm in nature, that every step of the way I'm on ground that I haven't been on before. It's like all so new and so cool. And you come around a bend or a corner and there's a new view or a new creek with a little waterfall and some rapids and some rocks, or a new area of forest that has different trees, or an area where you can hear the birds in a different way, or hear different birds or see different birds than you've ever seen. Where you'll come across wildlife, things like that. Or where at the top you get to this great view. And I'm going to share, I should have said this at the beginning, but I am going to share the clips from the video from my latest walk. It has been, it was at Taggert Lake Loop here at Grand Teton, and it was the most challenging hike I've ever done. At the time, Alberta Falls was the most challenging hike I've ever done, and now I just did this and it has become the most challenging hike I've ever done. So I wanted to start a new playlist on my channel, just to be part of my regular channel, just like it always is, but I want to see for myself kind of my progress. I want to kind of cheer myself on. I want to look at where I've been and where I'm going, and already I can see a little bit of a progression, that I'm getting better and stronger. And it's not because I'm making myself, or because I'm like, oh, I better do this because I'm overweight. No, no, no. What I'm committed to in this year that I have taken off of work and everything is, and if you want to see that whole backstory, I have a video on it too. I'll put it in the description too, where I quit my job and took off on this adventure for a year, right, to travel. But I want to come back and look, and I can already see a progression of starting with just overlooks and starting with extremely short hikes. The elevation still is so challenging for me. Anytime I'm walking uphill, even walking up a flight of stairs at a regular office building is hard. But the rest of it really hard. Okay, so I'm gonna check my notes and see if there's anything else I wanted to say, and then I'll get right into the hike at Taggert Lake, because it not only was it the hardest hike I've ever done, it was the most beautiful hike I have ever done. It was, I could cry just thinking about it. You guys know I'm a crybaby if you watch me. I'm getting tears, but it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful on the way up, and it was such a great payoff at the very top, and I can't wait to show you that video. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say before we dig right into it. Okay, Taggert Lake Loop. This is the picture from All Trails. You guys know I love All Trails. I am not sponsored. I just love them. So this is an easy trail. I love All Trails because I can search based on my criteria, which I need it easy. I need it with not that much elevation. I need something I can actually do, and I want the highest rated hikes, so I only do like 4 stars and above on hikes, and I can filter all of that out. It shows me the whole route here of the hike I'm going to take, so I can kind of anticipate once I start and see where I am. This next slide I have coming up is absolutely key, though it could be the most important thing I look at. Doing inclines is very challenging for me. It's the hardest thing. So I want to know the elevation gain. And if 419 feet doesn't sound high to you, then think of 41 or 42 flights of stairs, because that's what it is. Actually, I didn't even go to 419 because if you look at the left, it comes up and then over. Before you get to that first peak, that's where actually the lake is. So I didn't go all the way to the top, being completely honest. Here's some of the reviews on All Trails. This is why you read all of them. This woman's saying it's a great family hike, not much vertical, and the view is great once you get there. That's hilarious, because this other person said it was uphill almost the whole way to the lake, but it was so worth it. So different people, different opinions, just take it all in. At least All Trails gives me a basic understanding and the facts, so that I can judge for myself what I can do. So we're digging right into the hike, and you can see how it looks on the bottom. You really have to kind of look down and watch your feet. Nice little stream pretty quickly as we got into the walk. You know, I love that running water and those rapids. That's fantastic. Any little thing like this will keep me going and keep my spirits up. Had to take my little selfie by the stream. There we go. In this next clip, I am just kind of walking. This is like a very gradual incline place. Just giving you an idea of the feel. This is a really just gradual incline. A lot of them are a lot steeper than this, but I liked these trees too and just the beauty of it. I stopped to take a break. I'm on the Taggert Lake Trail loop right now. I'm only 6/10 of a mile in. It's basically uphill all the way there and then downhill all the way back. So the good news about that is I do prefer to get the uphill out of the way. The bad news is it's really tough. As soon as I literally start to do an incline, like one flight of stairs up, like 10 feet up, and I'm winded. So it's just requiring a lot of breaks and a lot of self-talk and one step in front of the other. Here we are. I'm getting close to the top now. Just a great photo op. You can see part of the trail and the Tetons behind me, which was magnificent. And then we are actually going to get, and you can believe I am singing hallelujah when I get to this point. And we're at about 7,000 feet, which is no joke. And another little selfie, of course, because I have to capture this moment. Here it is, you guys. I'm just gonna let you watch and not listen to my voice for a minute. I was about to put my feet in this nice cold lake when I finished filming. That is something. They are just majestic and magical. I love them. Oh yeah. That smile is like, I am not only happy to be here, but now my walk back, my hike back to my car is downhill. And here I'm working on my little photography skills a little, trying to get a little color and a little scale in there. And what do you know, before long you've made it to the end of another video. If you have stuck around this long, you deserve a medal. I want to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll catch you next time.